Hey everybody, this is Jewelyn. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a combination plant haul, planting with Jewelyn episode. And I am here on a Saturday. Believe it or not, it feels so awkward for me to not be in either Las Vegas or traveling to another city. I got off of work this morning and I stopped by my local orchards to get more terracotta pots. So do you remember the small little 4-inch pots that I got that were really cute and short and they're terracotta? Well, I went back to get more. So this is the 4-inch red clay fern pot. I absolutely love this. It is nice and short, perfect for succulents and cacti. And because I got my mother of thousands in San Diego, I'll show you it. I got this in San Diego last weekend and I felt bad because I didn't plant it up in the last Planting with Jewelyn episode. So I wanted to go back and get one for him. So I'm gonna go ahead and plant this up today. And I was like, you know what? I feel really bad for all of my hanging plants because I have a bunch of them still in their nursery planter. Pretty much all of them are in their nursery planter. And the problem is that if I go ahead and put them into planters, I need to figure out how to hang them up. So I'm not sure. I'm like thinking I'm gonna get macrame and put the macrame over the terracottas and then try to figure out how much I can hang on my DIY wire hanging section here because terracotta is really heavy. So I don't know, I'm gonna figure it out. But for now, I did get a bunch of bigger terracotta in the same style, the fern pot. So I ended up getting an 8-inch and I got 4 of them. So still on that short side. And these are gonna be for like all of my hanging plants here. So I have my Monstera Addisonii. I also have my silver satin pothos, and I think maybe my curly spider plant. We'll see if I can get them in here, but I bought 4 of these. Okay, and then I got this guy. This is the 10-inch cactus bulb pan. So as you can see, it is very short compared to the fern style. So shorter and wider, I want to say. So I got 2 of those, and I think I want to put my succulent here, my Burrow's donkey's tail succulent that I got from the flea market, and that's gonna be very interesting to touch because once I pot it up in here, I'm not gonna want to touch it because it's so fragile and it's gonna fall apart. So that is the haul portion for the day. So I ended up getting 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 planters today. And the reason why I ended up getting terracotta planters, finally I was giving in because I was hoping like whenever I do my shopping for my plant collection, I would end up with the perfect style and aesthetic for all of my hanging plants. But you know what, for now I'm gonna just leave it in these terracottas, and eventually when I do my come with me's and all of that, and if I see a reasonably priced white planter that I want to go ahead and switch it up, then I will then. But for now, I just feel so bad. You know, I've been doing so many plant shopping and I have these guys still in the nursery planter, and if you watch my channel, I pretty much pot them right away once I get that perfect fit. But I want to go and see like what's the condition of the root system and just kind of spruce them up, because when I went to the Bay Area for a couple of days last month, like the heat really got to them, and you'll see maybe 1 or 2 of the house plants, they look really sad. So I want to go ahead and pot them up into this terracotta planters that I got, and that's gonna wrap up the haul portion. So I'm gonna put my hair up in a ponytail, put my apron on, and let's get planting. So I have my ponytail and my apron on, and this is just going to be, I guess, today's little planting portion of my day. I do not work tonight, which is like really nice for me to say that because I usually work day and night. So I am gonna go out with my coworker and have a nice dinner. And actually tomorrow's my day off, so I do want to do a come with me. It'll probably be to my local flea market. And then because it's August and my birthday's on the 18th, and I've been really wanting to film this for you guys, but I feel bad with all of these guys not planted up first. So tomorrow I'm gonna film my plant tour bathroom edition, which is one of my most popular uploads on my channel. So I'll be doing those videos tomorrow on my day off. So I have all of my tools here. I have my potting soil, which is my cacti and succulent mix, and the first thing I want to do is take care of my mother of thousands. So got this guy in San Diego, and it's the pink butterfly calancho. Like, take a look at the variegation. So I don't want to really touch him too much because his little guys are gonna just come falling right off, but I do want to go ahead and just squeeze the bottom to loosen up the roots. and then put it right back into this planter. I don't have much calanchos, I don't think. But this one definitely caught my eye, and I was like, okay, all right. So the soil is making me sneeze. Very fragile, so this guy came out, but I do see there's a little bit of roots there, so I'm just gonna put this back in here. I'm gonna just place the soil right back into this breathable terracotta, and I would love to probably have this guy here on my Tiffany blue table. Alright, so this is one I won't touch until it gets bigger because it's so fragile with the little babies on it. And then we'll definitely find another planter for it when I do shiftings and such. So what do you guys think? I think it looks absolutely adorable. We'll add a little bit more here. In there. Alright. So happy about that one because I really wanted to do this on my last Planting with Jewelyn episode because it didn't have a home. So here is that. I think that's perfect. What do you think? By the way, this size cost $1 and some change, which I think is really reasonable, and I'm gonna place that right here. I'm gonna have to definitely redo this section here of styling. So next thing I want to do is, since I have my cacti succulent mix, is the burro's tail, and I have my pruning scissors because I'm gonna try to see if I can shift this thing right out. But because the donkey's tail is such a fragile plant, like just by me touching it to see if it would fit in a planter, a few fell off. So I definitely don't want to mess with it too much, so I'm gonna make some space for this. This is definitely going to stress me out. So first thing I want to do is take off the wire here without making this thing fall apart. Let me know what is your technique of handling donkey's tail, burro's tail when you're repotting them, because these guys are so fragile. They will definitely fall apart if you mishandle them. And the soil is like making my allergies go crazy right now. I'm sneezing setting up this setup. Alright, so this is off. Place this to the side. Let's see if I just maybe squeeze this, and then if I could just maybe hug it and it'll come out. Oh, I can't believe that happened. Alright. That just saved me from cutting the planter. Another thing you could do is you could cut the planter and then take it apart that way if you don't want to like damage any of the succulent petals. I mean, I did have a bunch of fallouts, probably 10 of them. I'll just go ahead and propagate them. As you can see, there's one already growing here. So this is the 10-inch, and I got the 10-inch because I do not want to touch this thing. Once it goes in here, it'll probably be its forever home unless it gets double the size, and we'll definitely make a change. But this is such a finicky plant, like very fragile. I definitely don't want to like keep moving it. So this is it for this guy. So I got a 10-incher. So we're gonna place that down here. And then I'm gonna pick this guy up here and then just soften the root system here. And let's see what's going on. Alright, so I don't want to soften it too much before it starts falling apart like that. But I definitely want to get the bottom nice and loose. Still keeping it compact, don't fall apart too much. Alright, so that's good enough for me because I don't want to have it fall apart. I want it to be grouped up still. Now I'm going to go ahead and get, this is where it's going to get messy. Without damaging anybody, keep my bin here. And we're just going to fill the edges up. I'm so excited to get this one potted up. Now the thing with this is, I don't know what I'm going to do with it because it's not in a hanger. So it's just gonna have to like live on a tabletop somewhere around here. I mean, I would only get macrame hangers if I had a different place where I could style them in my home, or if my patio had a ceiling, then I could hang the macrames from the ceiling, but I don't have that. I have a huge big tree, and terracottas is very heavy, So maybe I could get a few macrames and hang them out here, but my whole hanging collection would not handle my DIY thing, like because of the weight. My grandma was mentioning that too. She's like, terracotta is really heavy. You can't put them all back on your wire. So we'll see what I do, but I definitely wanted to go ahead and see what was going on with them and pot them up before I do anything else with my collection. So let's go ahead and shift this here. And then once I get it nice and grounded in here, I'll go ahead and kind of fix the direction of how I want them to look like. And see, just by me doing that, a bunch is falling off. So this is very stressful for me to plant up. Definitely don't want to touch this guy for a very long time. Okay. And then kind of shifting it here. So it's a beautiful sunny day. I definitely want to take Evie to the beach tomorrow for a bike ride since it's my day off. So we'll go ahead and do that at some point tomorrow. And we're just gonna lay these guys, all of them that fell off, on dirt. Maybe if I can find room on this planter as I make a mess here. This guy is just so wide that I can't fit my bin in there. Alright. So we're just shifting the dirt in here to get it to where I want it to be. This is definitely my biggest donkey's tail and it is stressing me out. Alright, so let's get this here and then turn this here and then lift this here. Oh my goodness, it's falling everywhere. Okay, I think the soil is good. I think we are good. Now it's just a matter of me shifting it to kind of, you know, give it direction to where I want it to grow. I want it to look even. So let me lift this up. So again, I knew this was gonna happen. Just me touching it, it falls apart. So this is like one reason why I was avoiding moving this into a planter of anything. This is just some. Probably 15 of them fell off, but let me go ahead and pick it up. So this is what it looks like. And it definitely filled out the planter. Like, take a look at that. It'll stay like this for the rest of its life, I think. And if anything, I'll just go ahead and propagate it. But I'm looking for this thing to just really cascade nice and long over this planter. And all of the babies, I'm just gonna stick it in here and let it do its thing, and then eventually it'll just root in here. But that was like really stressful for me to plant up because I knew all of the fallouts was gonna happen. There was probably 15 to 20 petals that fell off, and I really don't like to touch these. So I'm gonna go ahead and place this on the side, and this is kind of what it looks like. Let me know, what do you think? I think this particular short planter, the 10-incher, works really well for this style of plant and the size of it. Right, so I think the next one that definitely deserves to be repotted, and I got my house plant soil right here in my Tiffany blue bin, is this guy right here, which is from my plant nursery in West Hollywood that I like to go to. As you can see, I believe this is the lipstick plant. It's had a rough time while I was in the Bay Area, and I'll definitely give it a nice water after I go ahead and repot it. But it's definitely time to go ahead and give it a new home and get it spruced up and watered. It just didn't like me being away from the Bay with the hot heat, and I don't blame it. So I definitely want to go ahead and put this into a pot today. Problem is that I have, like, I would love to hang it back up. I don't have anything to hang it in. So that's the problem I'm gonna have until I order some macrame or something like that. I may just order 4 macrames and have only 4 hanging on this DIY wire hanging system I made here for my patio, and then the rest I'm just gonna have to just put it onto my tabletops here or one of my shelfies here. But this is definitely overdue, and I feel so bad for this plant. It's definitely a heat sensitive plant, and I always like to rotate my plants in my hanging section because this morning sun, I want to say, I'm not here in the mornings, but the morning sun is very harsh on the hanging section is what my thoughts is. And I always like to move them around. So this is really wired up in here, but I got one more to undo, and then we're gonna go ahead and get this out. So that goes here, and then let's see the condition of this plant. Poor thing. All right, making a little pile of nursery planters here. So we'll do this, and then I have my pruners just in case anything needs to be pruned. Clean up this guy a little bit here. And I'll definitely go ahead and water all of my plants today. So let's go ahead and get this terracotta here. This is a 8-inch. This is going to be perfect in here. We're going to soften up the root system here. Poor thing. Let me know down in the comments below if you have this plant and how are you styling this thing, because it is an interesting shape, like it spews out. So let's do one scoop here on the bottom, and then place this in here. And a part of me just wants to like get it all standing up, but that's not the style of the plant. It likes to be spewed out. And go ahead and get soil into this. I'm gonna be so happy once I see all of my hanging plants. Well, not all, because I don't have enough planters for all of them, because I'm hoping I do find like some nice white hanging planters for some of them. So I'm not gonna be planting up all of them today, but most of them. Probably will have 5 still hanging out at the end of this video waiting for a home, but for now at least I can get some of them into planters, and they'll all get a nice water. My whole collection will get watered today before the day ends, probably before I go to dinner. I have dinner in Santa Monica, and it's just like, it's so nice to be home. I'm taking care of my place, kind of redoing my space. It's like summer cleaning before I go home to Hawaii. See my grandma. This guy definitely needed some TLC, poor thing. But it'll look better once it's potted up in this planter with some water. So it is nice and grounded in here. And this is the new look. Oh my goodness. Definitely needs some TLC. So I'm gonna definitely put this in a different place besides where it was right here. And this is what it looks like. Let me know if you have this plant and what is the current condition. I think the 8-inch fern pot is a perfect like width and aesthetic for this particular plant. I didn't want a tall terracotta for this particular guy, and I'm definitely gonna give it a water today. And I'll check on it tomorrow and see how it's doing. We'll place it back here. It looks better already. Next one I wanna work on is this guy here. Yay! My biggest, most beautiful pothos. I think this is my biggest pothos. This is my pothos in Joy. And I believe this is my biggest pothos. I want to say it is. Could be wrong, but this is my biggest one that I can think of that I have off the top of my head in my collection. And again, I'm probably gonna, the macrames that I do order, I want to go and test it out with this one. So we'll see how that works out. But you know, like I said, if I had a different living situation and I had a lot of natural lighting in my home, or if I had a patio with a ceiling, all of my hanging plants would probably be in macrames, and it'll just like, do you remember, if you watch my Instagram story, please guys follow me on Instagram, because I do lives every now and then of me doing things in my patio. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, because I'm going to be doing more lives every now and then. I at least want to do 1 live a week in my patio and kind of share with you what's going on with my space. But anyway, I went to this restaurant in Venice maybe a couple weeks ago, and they had like a macrame hanging section in the middle of their space. and I was like, that was so inspirational. I would love to do that with my space wherever I go next. And that would be like so nice to have that like right by like natural lighting by a big window, but I don't have that in this space, so I am working with what I got. And that's one thing I like to do with the Meet My Plant Friend episodes is, you know, see how people are using their space and styling green, because like I wish I had a ceiling so that I could put plants above me in my patio, but I don't. So I made this DIY wire hanging section, and it's been working good, but with nursery planters, which is plastic and light. So now that I got terracottas, I'll probably end up just putting 4 of them once I get the macrames hanging in this section. That is going to be okay in the morning sun, which is like my succulents. So stay tuned to see what I do, but for now at least I can get these guys in planters. And obviously I wanted this pothos in a white planter, but I just can't find the perfect planter with everywhere I've been, like I haven't. So for now it'll go in a terracotta. So I got this from my favorite nursery in West Hollywood. All right, I'm gonna use this guy here. So I'm gonna use the 10-incher and see what happens. If I don't like the 10-incher, then we'll go ahead and place it in the 6-incher. So 6-inch it is. And then we'll see, you know, like I have this other 10-incher, and it could be for my Senecio string of hooks. I could put that one in the 10-incher. All right, so the roots are softened up here. Let's do 1 scoop here, maybe another one. All right, and then this is gonna go right in the center. Can't wait to see this in its new home. And then the critical part, getting the dirt in to the planter. Let me know down the comments below, what is your favorite plant that I planted up today. You know, this was long awaited. Like I really needed to do this like a while back, but I've been waiting for the perfect white planters for my hanging plants. And you know, maybe I'll just have to go one day and just specifically look for planters at nurseries, but they're so expensive, and I can't. My collection is so big that it's hard for me to spend $30 on a planter, unless, you know, it's for my big guy George, my big monstera. His planter was $22, and that's the biggest planter I have in my collection, and that was like a good deal for me. But I would never spend over $30 on a planter. And when I do these come with me's and I see people are like pricing their planters for $30 and up, I'm like blown away. Like I don't know how people can afford that. Now this particular planter cost me $4 for this 6-incher. So terracottas, at least for one thing, they're accessible, they're readily available in every nursery for the most part, carries terracottas, and they're the most inexpensive planter, and it's breathable with a drainage hole, so it doesn't, you know, hold water. So it's good for houseplants and for cacti and succulents. So terracotta is a safe bet. So if you're looking for like one particular aesthetic and you don't want to spend a lot of money, say on white planters like me, then you can always go for the terracotta, and that's always going to be a safe bet. So like Vika's collection in San Diego, he has all terracotta, and it looks beautiful seeing only terracotta. So definitely not mad at that. All right, here it is, potted up. Take a look at that. Like, isn't that stunning? I am in love. So okay, tomorrow I'm gonna film my plant tour bathroom edition, and then the next video I'm gonna film after that is my current top 10. Since my birthday's coming up, I just want to do all these special videos because my top 10 has definitely changed since last year, and that is going to be it for this one. Wow. All right, so let's go ahead and place this on the side and work with our next baby. Okay, moving along to my Monstera Addisonii. So stunning. Got this from my local flea market, which I will be going to tomorrow because I haven't been since I got this with my grandma, and I was like blown away. I love going to my local flea markets, and because I'm not here next Sunday, which is the second Sunday of the month, I won't be going to the Rose Bowl this month. So I figure, you know, maybe tomorrow's the day where I go to my local flea market because it's every Sunday in the city. So I'll probably do that in the morning and film for you guys. And I know I filmed there before, so I probably won't film a lot, especially with the hot heat. But if I do see anything interesting, I'll definitely film it for a come with me. So this plant is very fragile. So when I was away in Las Vegas over the weekend, I did have this plant in my bathroom because it's such a sensitive plant. I had this out while I was in the Bay, and it wasn't happy hanging out here for a couple of days in the sun. So let's see the root condition here without damaging the plant. All right, so this is what it looks like. I'm gonna soften it up. And I actually underestimated my plants. I actually got bigger planters this morning on the way coming back from work to home. And I had to go back, and I took Evie with me when I took it back, and got smaller ones because I was like, oh, I thought my plants were bigger. So I ended up going back to get more 6-inchers. So that was funny. I got like, I think 8-inch pots. It was just way too big. So I returned it, and then I ended up getting more 6-inchers, which works for me because it's cheaper and less heavier. So not mad at that. This is going to be interesting where I style these plants while I wait and get some hanging systems here. Alright. This here. Can't wait to give it a water. They all definitely need a watering today. Scoop will do. And I may do a shift in my collection at the end of this video, so we'll see what happens after I plant these guys up. Alright, so I think this looks good. What do you guys think? Here's a little spin. I think it looks well. So it is trailing, as you can see. And I think it's perfect. The 6-inch is definitely perfect for my house plants, and we'll prune them up because I see a bunch of withering leaves here. But I think this looks great, and we'll have to find a place for this. So this is my last 6-inch. I'm gonna get my, yes, I'm gonna get my silver satin pothos. So I got my silver satin pothos that's been hanging, and it's grown so long, and I'm trying to get the wire out of it without breaking it. So here's what it looks like. Like, look at all this growth. It is so full. And I wanted to give the last 6-inch planter to this one. Okay, that was stressful, but it came out. So this is definitely overdue. As you can see, it's doing so good at the end section of this hanging section I created for my hanging plants. Go ahead and just squeeze it out. We'll use this for another plant. And then let's get all of its trails on this end away from me. It's definitely time to soften it up. We'll just put it in like this. And then plant it up. Alright, so, and now that I have it in this planter, then I can go ahead and fix all of the trails to have it hang evenly over all sides of the planter. Let's see here. Quickest way to plant this one up. I'm gonna hold here. It's so amazing how quick I grow through soil, but not surprising because my collection grows really quickly. Like, I think I'm to the point where it's hard because, like, say for instance, when I went to Las Vegas, my last trip, I got my Chinese money plant, and that's something that I've been holding off for 2 years because I had one originally and I left it in the bay when I was living there, and I didn't want to get another one, and I finally got another one. So I think from now on, and I mean, I can't say this, but I just want to maybe save my plant collection now for my wish list plants, which is, I mean, I want to say I'm going to do that, but I'm not too sure. Like, when I do my come with me's and being a plant enthusiast and collector, I just, if there's a philodendron that I don't have, if there's a monstera that I don't have, like, I'll end up buying it because I just love collecting them. Peperomias especially. If there's a peperomia that I see that I haven't gotten in my collection yet, I'm going to go ahead and pick it up because peperomias are one of my favorites to collect. So I'll do this off camera because it's going to take a while, but you know, something like this that's trailing, I like to take the time to detangle it and get it to be spread out throughout the whole planter. But it is long, and it's just so amazing how this has just been growing on me. And I think I got this guy from, oh, that's right, see, I go to so many places. This is from my Santa Monica nursery, which I had actually featured on a come with me a couple months ago. I haven't been to that nursery in maybe 6 months, 4 or 5 months. I think I may go back and do a come with me because that's where I got my string of hearts. I got these silver satin pothos. I also got my purple oxalis. So that's like a really cool mom and pop nursery in my neighborhood, 2 miles down the street from me. So I'll definitely have to go back and show that place some love and see what's going on over there. I think I also got my angel wing begonia from there too. So definitely had a lot of gems there that I got in my collection early on. So, okay, I'm not going to fidget with this anymore because I do want to do a switch out before I end this video. But this is going to be it for now. Okay, so here's what it looks like, and it'll probably be end up looking a little longer trailing wise once I go ahead and unravel it. But as you can see, there's lots of trails here, and this is what it looks like in the 6-inch, which I think is perfect. So yes, I'll deal with the untangling and spreading out over the planter later on tonight, but for now I have it potted up, and I'm sure it's going to give me more growth now that I gave it a proper home. For the last portion of the video, I'm gonna do a switch out. So I have 2 of my rubbers here in these planters, and yeah, they look cute and they've been living in here for over a year. But I want to go ahead and check out the root system because it's been living in this planter for over a year. It's definitely a slow grower compared to my burgundy rubber plant, which is almost taller than me. And I'm going to be switching them up and putting them in this particular planter, which I forgot what I had in here originally. But I had these filled with maybe peperomias. Yeah, peperomias. And they're both the same. So as you can see, it's on the taller side. So, and they're white. And they look absolutely stunning. I love this particular planter. But I'm going to go ahead and shift these 2 rubber plants into here. Check out the root system. And then, I don't know, maybe we'll reserve this for another plant later in the future. But this is actually thrifted. And I think they're stunning. I got them in Las Vegas. But I want to see what's going on with the root system here and give it a new home. So let's go ahead and do this quick shift without making a mess. All right. So we'll do that. I think it looks better already. Let's go ahead and take some of the dirt out. Get it a little bit lower. This one definitely needs water too. As you can see, it looks a little sad, but they will perk right up once I water them today after this video. Alright, so that was just a little quick switch because I wanted to see what was going on with the root system and then get it in this nice white planter that it freed up. And yeah, I definitely think the variegated rubbers take a while to grow compared to my burgundy rubber plants, that dark green. A lot of chlorophyll, it grows quick. All right, so this is what it looks like. Here it is. And then it'll just be like this with the tray on the bottom. I think that looks really pretty. So we'll see how it likes being in this planter. And then we're gonna do the same thing for this guy. And I have the tray on the side here. So let's see here, get this guy out. And we'll just do this. Okay. Perfect. And then the last planting I want to do in this episode is planting up my begonia cutting that I had from Tanya when I did the Meet My Plant Friend episode with her. I could have planted it up in my last Planting with Jewelyn episode and it didn't. So I want to go ahead and do that today. And I'll put it in my ice cream cone planters because believe it or not, I do have a lot of ice cream planters left. So what do you guys think? I think it looks perfect, and then it'll have the tray underneath, and that was just my personal preference. So my therapeutic planters will go on the side and my potting bench for, I don't know, maybe some of my hanging plants. But here is my last guy here. So I was water propagating these cuttings. They're begonia cuttings from Tanya, and I have this ice cream planter, and we're just gonna plant it up into dirt. I'll definitely have to send a picture to her today as a thank you. And we're just gonna stick this in here and check on it in a couple of weeks. And obviously when it gets bigger, I'll go ahead and shift it, but I don't have any planters but nursery planters. But I thought it deserved a white planter because it worked so hard giving me roots. So that is going to wrap up today's haul and Planting with Jewelyn episode. So this is going to be interesting because these are very big pieces that I planted up today. I'm going to clean up my space and wrap up the video. Right, so here is just a quick little overview of the plant gang for today's episode. Because they're so big and traily, I can't wrap up the video sitting down at this very second without doing it this way. So quick overview, I redid my rubber plants here into these white planters that I had freed up. And I love the aesthetic of that. And then in the back there, I have my Monstera Addisonii. Up here, I have my Marble Queen Pothos, which I think is my biggest pothos. I have my new variegated pink butterfly Kalancho. And then I planted up my cutting from Tanya, which is a begonia cutting from her patio. And I have it in that white ice cream cone planter, which I still have a bunch of. And my most healthiest pothos, well, these two are, my silver satin pothos is planted up here. You can't even see the terracotta, that's how lush it is. Then down here, I believe this is my lipstick plant. And then I have my burro's tail, my donkey's tail, in the biggest planter of the day, which is the 10-incher. And I decide to do a 10-inch instead of a 6-inch because this is going to be its forever home. And I will go ahead and put all of the babies just right back onto the dirt and let it do its thing. And I'm not going to touch this like ever. So I'm going to let it just fill up this planter versus having it in a 6-inch. I wanted to just leave it alone in a 10-inch and not move that at all. So that is all of the babies that I replanted in today's episode. I'm going to wrap up the video. I'm actually standing up today because today's Planting with Jewelyn episode is very lush, traily, and big. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm definitely going to go ahead and find them new temporary homes for now since I can't hang them at this very second. And I hope this inspires you to style more green in your space. And I'm really happy that I was able to get the begonia cutting into soil today and my pink butterfly Kalancho into a new planter, and especially all of my hanging plants. I'm just glad that they're finally in a pot. I know it's not white, but eventually I would like to get them to all white planters, but it's definitely hard to find a certain aesthetic that I like and a good price point. But for now, they will live in terracottas. I'm glad I got to do this for them. It was long overdue. Let me know down in the comments below what was your favorite plant in today's episode. And I guess you can consider this a plant update for all of my trailing plants and my river plants. because I did feature them on previous episodes, and so far I think they're doing all good, so I'm definitely not worried about that. I hope this inspires you, and I will see you guys on the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed this very long and stressful planting with Jewelyn episode, and I'll see you guys on the next one. You can find more on my blog at ilovejewelyn.blogspot.com. I am going to now jump in the shower and glam up and have a girls' night out. I'm so happy to be home on this weekend here in August. I'll see you guys soon. Aloha. Bye.